All right, we're live. Awesome. So for today, I'll do my first live streaming session. See how that goes. Today's interesting because we don't have a lot of news. We don't have any news actually. If you look at the Forex calendar, Forex Factory, there is nothing all day. And what that means, it might be a sloppy day, but we'll see. Right now, the RTH gap is fairly large. It's over 200 points. And see how many points? It's actually 300. We will try to catch something today. It's going to be tricky because price will do one of two things. It's going to do a thank God it's Friday kind of setup where it's going to go lower and drop low and try to close in that gap, or it's going to keep pumping higher. And right now we are at all-time highs. Do I know how high we're going to go? I don't. There's no targets to hit at this point. So at the daily, you can see yesterday we had a bearish close. Now we're pushing open. And what this could possibly act on the daily is a bullish order block. I went into it, pushed off, and it's going higher now. On the 4-hour, came into this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, closed in the upper quadrant or in the upper half, and went higher now. From a 1-hour perspective here on the top left, give me a major view here. That's better. Okay, perfect. So this is going to be a bit more stream friendly, but what we'll have is our main chart here. It's the 1 minute. We'll use the 15-second for any entry confirmations. And this is our higher time frame charts, both on the 1 hour and on the 15-minute here on the right-hand side. Currently have all 5 of my accounts connected. So we will see if we manage to get anything today. And if we can, that would be great. Right now, I'm not interested in any position right now. Most likely we'll wait till the 9:30 open and see what happens there. But you can see here on the 1 hour, what's forming. We got relative equal highs here. We'll denote that as RTH. Relative equal highs. Right here, we've got a bullish fair value gap. One of the only ones on the 15-minute chart. We'll see how it rejects that. And then we'll try to take a position. I do want to take shorts today. I do not want to take long. But ultimately, market will present itself something, and we shall act on it. You can see here what happened between 8 o'clock to now. It's price has been just really moving sideways, not really creating any fair value gaps. It started creating some right here around the 8:30. But as of right now, this is nothing interesting for you to denote or wanting to trade. There's going to be most likely no meaningful price action from now all the way to the open. And if there is, it's going to be a couple of points, but nothing that you'd probably want to risk your dollars on. And you can see here, we've got some ever so slightly bearish order flow, price coming, creating its first fair value gap in a long time here. Touched it, rejected, and currently it's going lower. We got some relative equal lows here that it's most likely targeting. Okay. This is most likely where I think price would want to head to next. And then we got these relative equal highs here. It's so little here. It's only 5 points to the downside and 24 to the upside. So there is no RR here that's going to benefit you greatly on taking this trade here. Hey, you shorted? Nice. You shorted at 826. Okay. And what's your target? Wish me well. After the 1 minute breaker. 826. $8.26. Okay. Well, technically, what price is doing right now, wish me well, is it should at least hit the target right here. I would say that just to you. There is really nothing that price should turn around here and go higher, unless it's just pre 930 manipulation. Something I don't like about the price action here is the way it respected this fair value gap here on the 1 minute. This is something like when it breaks through and then comes back down, it's considered a mohawk, but it's sloppier price action. And it's something that just I try to be wary of, but I did respect it. It's just a bit sloppy. Where's your stop loss? Wish me well. It looks like you took something like this. I'm trying to map it out here. At 826. 826.50. That was your trade there. I understand the like if that's what you took there, stop above this high test here or this volume imbalance. Again, a quick 2-to-1. I would say this is high probability, but it could definitely work out in your favor. The 15-minute order flow is still bullish. 1 hour is still bullish. Like for me to go short today, this 1 hour fair value gap that I'm going to mark in blue, which is going to be a bullish fair value gap. I want that to break to the downside along with this fair value gap here. We'll have it first presented stop loss at 21,389. 21,389. Okay. I mean 839 right here. Yeah, that's definitely a pretty big stop loss. I would say it should be safe there. But you can see here it already tapped my target that I was looking at if I were to trade this. How low are you taking it? Probably say target 1. I already guess. If I was in this trade, like the top of this fair value gap here, 807. And then the moment that you're taking it below, if you're taking it below these equal lows, then you're not out. Then the next target, if you think it's going to go lower, would be at 807.50. Because what it could do is it can dig into this 15-minute fair value gap and then just punch higher. But I am hoping that this is going to bring you money. I've set two TPs, 814 and 801. 814, perfect. And 801. All right, so it looks like you're aiming to pull this to the lower quadrant. What's at 801 here on the 1 minute chart? This low right here, okay. I think that's a decent TP. But if price is going to get this low, most likely it's going to go lower. I personally think like a 803 ATP, like the midpoint of this 15-minute fair value gap, I personally would feel more comfortable holding it to. But it can definitely punch below the 801 number as well, depending on your risk tolerance here. This is a pretty good trade, man. It's decent. So this is going to be let's see if it's going to get to the midpoint. There you go. Midpoint has been hit. That's what I'm talking about, man. Risk-free, baby. There you go. And that's your second TP hit right there. Good little nifty trade. Let's bring it home. You doing combines? You funded? What's the status, Wish? Funded Top Step. Sick. That's the way to go. And see, look at that rejection right there on the 1 minute. It's hitting these key points here. The mid threshold. It touched the bottom to the point there. Look at that. And there's really two options here. It's 50-50. It just keeps dropping or it goes higher. I personally don't know what it's going to do from here. I don't see an edge. Once the 9:30 opens, hopefully we catch a nice 10-1. Take that money. Use it for the holidays. My goal in the next week and a half is to pull out 25 more K from Top Step. A max withdrawal of 5K per account. Then if I do that, well, regardless, I'm going on vacation early January, but if I do that, it's going to be a more luxurious vacation. 25K USD more to spend. But when it comes to trading, it's all about patience. Even though it's somewhat tempted to take the short, I do tend to take slightly higher probability trades. I think, wish me well, this is like if I personally would categorize it, I think it's like a B plus, like a B plus. The one thing that threw me off here was just how we closed at this 1 minute fair value gap. Just let's see on the and even on the 15-second, you can see there's a really big closure above it before it broke again below it, came up, retested, and then dropped lower. I'm going to get better at my setups. To be honest, wish me well. You literally caught it at the very bottom of the trade. Talk about high precision. Let's see, and there's the pull up. Sometimes we see wicks as also as areas of imbalance or resistance. So this right here is technically an imbalance that it came to and it rejected. All right, 21 minutes until the fun begins. Bullish breaker off of 944 or off of 644. Yeah, so you're looking at this right here. Yeah. Yeah. Area 1 bullish breaker. Area 2, this inefficiency here and this down wick. But technically, yeah. Yeah, so that was the MMS right here on the 1 minute. All right, price. What are you going to do? Are you going to take out these relative equal highs today? I'm thinking it will. Unless price decides to leave this and drop lower. But the 1 hour, the 15-minute, they're all bullish right now. That was a nice short scalp. So what I'm eyeing today is the following price action. We look at relative trading hours on the 1 minute. This is where we closed at yesterday at 414 at 615. And if we look at the distance from 615 to now, we're at 180 points to the upside. So my model, the one that I trade, within the first 30 minutes is if we're going to open up bullish with a bullish gap after 9:30. My bias is always bearish because there's a 70% chance that it is going to hit that midpoint before going higher. Today's just weird because there's no news at 10 or at 9:30 or at 8:30. It's a no news day. It's a Friday. And the gap is fairly large at 200 points. So I'm going to be eyeing for some, hopefully, Judah swing to the upside and we take it down. Or if it shoots down and creates some type of reversal, it might be going for relative equal highs here. But on the daily, again, it's currently sitting at all-time highs. The overall order flow is bullish, right? Right, you got all these bullish order blocks on the daily. And essentially, we're going to be shorting all of this and not trying to catch the top, but with controlled risk, trying to catch a top here. So that's kind of my plan into the market. I want to see it break below, maybe trade it lower, like for example, 697. But based on what I'm seeing right now, nothing is indicating that it's going to turn around. What about 780? Stop loss. Oh, I see. Got it. 780 stop loss. SSL. Oh, sell side liquidity. 780 here. Yeah, so this is like level 1 here. Once price hits less liquidity, it's going to start entering the attempt to break more higher time frame PDA arrays. So it can definitely go down lower. And then the question is it going to go a bit higher and then break lower? And once it breaks this level on the higher time frame, I see no reason for it to try to turn around once it breaks 765. Like the probability is going to be to the downside. So if we kind of take our arrow here, price can come down, use this as an inversion, right? Like this is kind of what I'll be looking at. And right here, most likely at 698, we do have our end dog, our precious end dogs. We got the end dog of 1213, which is today's price, maybe gravitating to all of this here. We got the NW dog, the end dog. We got a lot of levels here. That price, as you know, ICT said in Mentorship 2024, end dogs are a vacuum. And I really hope it does pull to it. So here's another reason of why shorting might be the higher probability trades today than taking longs. We shall see. When my price opened up today, really interesting because it opened up at like 6 o'clock. It created this massive end dog. Right? 91 points. It never even got to the midpoint of it. So there is so much of it that's unexplored. Right? Price never had a chance to trade to it today. And this is yet another reason why we could be going short. So Douglas, we have already tapped into it many times. Doesn't matter. Can we keep tapping it in? Yeah, definitely. So these end dogs and NW dogs, or new week opening gaps, they stay relatively like an active PDA array. Just because we rejected it off once doesn't mean that it's going to come back later. So if we've rejected it many times, I wouldn't count that as it's not going to get back there. If it does get back there, let's say another time, and it breaks lower and then inverts it and keeps shooting down, that's indication that it's a relatively strong PD array and you can use it as an active PDA for your actual trade. You can see here, like rejection, rejection. Here it broke to the downside, but it didn't invert this NW dog. It kept going up. But this is price action after 4 o'clock. So this is not something that we trade. This is out of our reach. The algos here post 345 get a bit crazy. So there's definitely a draw to the downside today. Yeah. If Douglas, if I see an NDOG or an NW or an NWOG being respected multiple times, and it's not really kind of breaking through, like, and coming back, and not like, if it's being respected, for me, that's a PD array that I want to use moving forward. Same with like fair value gaps. Like, look at today's trade. Wishing me well took a short here. After we've confirmed some kind a 1 minute bearish order flow, it rejected the first 1 minute bearish fair value gap, came lower, rejected it once more, and Wish took it around here. But there were targets to the downside that we'd take, but there's also targets to the upside that it could have taken. But most likely than not, once it rejected this one, it went lower. And you can see here, the moment it starts touching PDA arrays and just exploding away from them, that's indicating to you that those are relatively strong PD arrays that we can use. The moment you see, I'll show you an example of a bad PD array, and it uses for all PD arrays. It's like a fair value gap that gets poked into many times. Like, if you see, I don't know if I have an example right now, but if there's a fair value gap, and if I draw it out for you here, like this one, for example, and if price did this, came up and down and up and down, and it kept tapping it, for me, this is a low probability fair value gap. And I wouldn't trade it, and I wouldn't want you to trade it, because at this point, there's a 50-50 chance that it's going to either break to the upside or shoot down lower. What you want to see is price action, getting to these fair value gaps, touching it once, max twice, and then exploding to your intended direction. But the moment that you see something like this, this is no good. So you can see here, all these fair value gaps had either 1 or 2 touches before price went into a specific direction. So right now, what's happening here on the 15-minute, our higher time frame, is price is currently breaking to the downside of this 15-minute bullish fair value gap here, marked in blue. The tools I'm using right now are currently mapping a possible opening gap right now. It's not accurate, but it will be accurate at 9:30. It's starting to form on the 15-minute chart, and then it's going to soon form on the 15-second and on the 1 minute charts. But you can see here, guys, it's from yesterday's open, or yesterday's close to today's open. It's going to be a hefty bullish day, which will take bearish. So this is good. This is like sign number 1. If the hourly closes in 38 minutes below this, this may be, I'm going to paint it orange, an inversion fair value gap. This is sign 1 that order flow is shifting, and it's going to be a shorting day for us. If anyone here is trying to take a short right now, 9 minutes before the open, do not recommend it. Price gets a bit sporadic before the open. It either starts going sideways. You can see here on the 15-second chart, it's not even creating any fair value gaps. It's just kind of, it's painting very efficiently, which is not what we want to trade in. Those are considered as high resistant conditions. And most often than not, we will lose money in conditions like this. So 10 to 15 minutes pre-open, I don't personally trade. I usually wait for the 9:30 open. We're going to try to find that first fair value gap today, see how price reacts from it, see if we can get a judo, and try to take either a short or a long. Yeah, that's the right move, Douglas. So what price right now is doing, it's creating targets to the upside. All right, we got some relative equal highs here. That price is most likely going to spike out today. The moment price breaks below this low here, it's going to be considered as a 1 hour market structure shift to the downside. SMT, like between like the NASDAQ and ES, that's what you mean. I used to, but I stopped. I do focus on other TPD rays. What ICT essentially recommends is he wants to see markets flow the same way between NQ, ES, and the Dirty 30. So between those three markets, if they're all flowing in a similar fashion, we are in high probability conditions. The moment that there is SMT between any of them, based on what he said, it's less favorable conditions, as ES is doing one thing, NQ is doing the other, and that's how I use it right now. If I were to look at it, but I completely ignore that, and I look at pure raw price action on NQ, and I execute from there. For me, it just works moving forward. And I try to not shift my edge around too much the moment that I found consistency in trading. I haven't touched SMT in a couple of months, and I might not return to it. There you go. There's our 1 hour market structure shift. All right. 5 minutes to the open. And my strike rate, I wouldn't say it's high right now. I think it's around 50-50 at this point, but my average win to losses is 4-1. So I'm right 50% of the time. My average win is a 4-1. And because of that, I'm sitting on the profitable side of trading. So I do want to get up my strike rate to 60% or 55 at least, or 60. I think ICT has a 73% strike rate. So getting to that, I think, is going to be, I don't know if it's going to be possible, but it's going to be definitely hard. But if you guys have lower strike rates, I think that's completely okay. Just make sure that when you are swinging, they're not 1-1s. They're 3-1s, 4-1s. Like, the risk is in your favor. And mathematically, assuming that you're using PDAs correctly in price action, eventually, even if you have like a 35% strike rate, if you're trading 4 or 5-1s, you should be netting to the upside if you trade small enough and you can take enough of those trades so that you don't blow your accounts. So I'm friends with some pretty good traders, and their strike rates are sitting around, again, mid 40s to high 50s. And I don't know, I don't think I've met anyone that's above, like a real person with real results, above 65% strike rate over a long period of time. And if people do say that they do have that, then they'll never show me their stats. Okay, we're 3 minutes till open. I'm really liking how this 15-minute here is going to be closing below this 15-minute fair value gap. I'm going to paint this as orange, denoting that the fair value gap can be or maybe inverted. And then our target is going to be somewhere around this point. 70% chance that 706 is going to get hit. This will shift the moment, but it's going to be around here. What's a 706 here? Let's see. 706, 705. That's essentially today's end dog. So I think a really safe target, regardless of where we're going to close in the next 2 minutes, is going to be 720, 721. And I only use the 15-second time frame for confirmation of entries. That's why it's so small here on the screen. But the moneymaker is the 1 minute. Okay. So the new or today's opening gap is almost formed. It's gonna reform again at 9:30. You guys are interested in the indicator that I'm using? This one right here. It's called NDOG or NWOG, NDOG, RTH, and EH. Out of all the ones I've tested, this one was the most accurate. Highly recommended if you want these gaps to be automatically plotted at 9:30. All right. Okay, so let's do this. And just because price has a 70% chance to get to this level here within the first 30 minutes, it doesn't mean that it will, but odds are always to your favor, and it's honestly a great model to trade. Yesterday was not a large range day, which is good. Probabilities are to our side here. Okay, so we're open. Let's see what price wants to do. All right, is 100 of these equal highs here on the 1 minute? Most likely. There you go. That has been taken. Look at that, within the first 1 minute, liquidity taken. Easy guess. Relative equal highs and lows are so freaking great. Okay, now we're waiting for what's most likely going to form first is our 15-second fair value gap, the first one. It can't be the one on at 9:30. It has to be on the 9:31 candle. On the 50-second chart, what an instant bullish breaker. Right here, yeah. I'm not going to put too much weight on this bullish breaker. I do want to see, or this could be the bullish breaker to the Judah swing going up, but what I'm liking about this right now is we haven't explored the downside yet. We just went up. So this is going to make shorting slightly higher probability. Could price just shoot upwards for the rest of the day and never come back to this? It can. I've seen it in the past. But again, probability wise, it should dig back into this range here. Okay. Come on, first fair value gaps. Where are you at? Sorry for the coughing. I'm a bit sick today. And it's always good to be patient. We got to wait for price to give us something to trade off of. Okay. This 1 hour here, look how it's shaping up. It's going to close in 30 minutes, so this doesn't mean much, but like you see how it punched into this fair value gap here and pushed way up during the open. Again, I'm not putting a lot of weight to it, but it's just something to consider. Like it's I still think that the market tipped its hand ever so slightly to the downside. If this 15-minute candle here closes below this inverted fair value gap, that may be a really good sign that we're going to start digging into the lower portions of the opening gap. Okay. So to the upside, we got liquidity sitting here, these relative equal highs. Price punch into this 1 minute fair value gap here. Yeah, it's a tiny one. But let's see what it's going to do. If price is in a buy program, it's going to essentially ignore every single opposing PDA and just shoot right through them and use them as supporting PDAs to push price higher. But in a perfect world scenario, what I want to see here is these relative equal highs being taken first, price reversing, and then going to the downside. Because if we were to take a short around this level here, our only exposure to the upside are those relative equal highs that are just sitting there. Most likely than not, price would want to do some damage before going lower. So on the 15-second chart here, price is doing jack shit. It's doing nothing. There's not a single fair value gap that has been formed. This is considered as high resistant conditions, at least for the first 4 minutes of the open. Nothing energetic. Okay. To catch the really large moves, it has to be aligned with the higher time frame. We can definitely scalp things in the 1 minute, but we do have to watch how things are closing. The 4 hours probably going to close in 20 minutes as a bullish candle. Let's see how price is going to react to this. SIBI. Okay. All right. Our first meaningful candle may be forming right now on the 15-second. You're going to fill me in. 6 seconds. Yep, filled in. Thought we had a 15-second fair value gap there. We don't. Okay. Price is hunting right now. Those relative equal highs are on target. 15-second fair value gap. This is most likely going to be it here. I'll know in 10 seconds. Good. That's it. And what I usually do in my trading is this is one of the levels that I'm going to trade off of. If it comes back lower here, retest it. I'm taking it long to these relative equal highs. That's going to be my first trade. It's going to be a smaller trade because it's not the direction I want to trade in today. Come on, come back lower. And you can see sometimes price never goes lower, never respects that first fair value gap on 15-second, and it might push higher. But unfortunately, let's see here. And it's not so much of it touching it, it has to touch it and respect it for me to go in. But my button is on the buy button here, because these markets move fast. Okay. Price decided not to take us in. It's going to take out these relative equal highs in a sec. That's okay. 15-second FFG, that's the first fair value gap. Okay. So we have our first fair value gaps. I'm pretty sure this is in 10 seconds. This one should close here. This is going to be the 1 minute first fair value gap. All right. And we will see if price right now comes back lower to this area, most likely it's going to go back up and pop the high at 801. There'll be no reason for it to leave these relative equal highs and push lower. So I think a slight edge would be there. But let's see. Let's see what it's going to do. Okay. There you go. Good boy. Come back lower. Okay. So it's within our attack zone, but the question is it going to reject it? Okay, it's sitting in the upper half here of the first fair value gap, but it should displace here. Okay. Order rejected by okay. I got in a bit too late here, but I'm currently long. And I am going to do a quick tag at 843. It's going to be a tiny trade, $100. Like I don't know how much higher it's going to go. So if it does go higher, but if the edge right now is to the upside, price breaks all this, then it's being manipulated in some way. My stop right now is I entered way too late, but I try putting in 10 minis instead of 10 micro, or 10 micros instead of 10 minis, and I got order rejected. All right, I think we're okay now. Yeah, this is going to be a tiny trade for me. $100 to the upside. Times 5 accounts, so $500. Technically not bad. But it could be better. All right, I'm out right now. Yeah, the first breaker at the open, yeah, it would have been great. I don't have the balls to trade that first breaker at the open. You guys caught something? Great. But that was a really quick little trick. If you're still holding it, then so that was the first trade of the day. Yeah. Did anyone take that trade off of that? Oh my gosh. So wish me well is holding it to unknown levels. Let's talk about levels that it might hit right now before it reverses further. Right here. 860 would be the max level that I would be aiming. Okay, 854. But for me, it's a swing essentially from high to low. And 25% would be a possible level that you can target. Jeez. I don't think price is freaking coming back today. Just look at this hourly. Look at this 15-minute. Congratulations. Wish is 2 for 2 today. I am. I'm not even counting this as a real trade. This was. I should have gotten earlier. I was in the wrong market, and it's gonna be a tiny trade. Okay, so 25% has been hit. If you're trying to go in long right now, guys, you're chasing the market. It can go up for the next 2 hours. You might make a lot of money, but I wouldn't know how to protect your stop, or I couldn't tell you how to protect it properly. I'd probably say get in and start trailing the 15-second and hope for the best. But the moment you're hoping, you shouldn't be trading. All right, let's see here. I do want to get above at least $200 per account because it starts counting towards your 30 days of wins above $200 if you're for Top Step, and then you can take bigger payouts. And then eventually they move you into live. Like the moment you start pulling out too much money from Top Step, they put you into a live account. So that is going to be the goal. The train has left us. Oh yeah, it's left the station at definitely. Like right now to take shorts, and I might close the stream in the next half an hour, but price is going to have to get below these levels right here, guys, for me to even consider a short. If it's not below these first fair value gaps, I am not shorting. Oh, fucking hell, man. I'm hoping this is the Judah swing and it just rips lower, but it may be so that it just might keep going up for the rest of the day. Something I don't know. Mm-hmm. And this is where my regrets start hitting me. Not holding the position here at our entry. But you live and you learn, right? Is anyone in long right now? Or still holding on to price action? Douglas, did you manage to catch something today? Nope. Doug, are you trading like Top Step? Are you practicing right now, understanding like where are you at with your trading journey? Evaluation Top Step. Well, what size account are you doing right now? Are you doing 50, 150, or 100? My recommendation is trading above a 50K is crazy because once you get your 50K to 2K over the threshold, you can trade up to 5 minis, and trading 5 minis is insane. You can blow an account like this. So yeah, exactly. And the relationship to the drawdown in price, yeah, agreed. So I'm never going to swerve away from 50K accounts, regardless of how high my strike rate is, because I'm probably never going to trade over 5 minis, at least for the near future. Because if one trade goes wrong on 5 minis, you're down, especially on 5 copiers, you're down hundreds of thousands. Okay, what's price doing on the 15-second chart? Let's see here if we can. We're not going to catch the top here. So if you're trying to, don't do it. If you want to gamble, you can, but there's a tiny fair value gap here. I think start looking at how price reacts to it. Let's mark it as orange as a possible inversion. And there you go. Close slightly below it, and now it's punching up higher. But on the 1 minute, we're in a buy program. Imagine this is one of the days that keeps going up, and we literally caught it at the perfect possible entry. That's going to hurt our souls a bit. Yes, no, you know what? The real money is made on NQ. ES is it's a slower market. It's like if you enjoy whiskey and cigars, that's a market for you. Price moves slower. But what I realized on NQ is fair value gaps are tighter, price moves faster, and it allows me to execute faster with tighter stop losses. So I try to mirror and mimic what ICT does. And he said that he only trades NQ. And I'm like, you know what? If he's doing it, then I'm doing it. I have some friends that are doing ES trading. Are they as profitable as I think they should be? No, but I think NQ is like the heart of and if you can understand NQ, you can do any market. I think it's the most challenging one as well because it's so fast. But I highly recommend, at least in my channel and what I'll be live streaming here and doing reviews on, is purely NQ. Maybe ES if there's enough people that want me to do it. I'll do some quick commentary, but for the most part, it's just going to be NQ. We make money together here on NQ. Wish, how many dollars did you extract today from Top Step, if you don't mind me asking? Couple hundred? Oh, for Wish Me Well FX. His 2 trades that went well against his favor. He should be up a couple hundred. Oh, there you go. And once you guys have 5 accounts with Top Step and they're all sitting above, 2 to 4K, and you got a payout, feel free to add 5 more and connect those to your Express accounts. So eventually you'll pass them. But as the time comes that you ever blow your accounts, you've got 5 more sitting there ready to be converted to Express accounts. So there isn't a period where you're not funded. It relieves some right now I have only 5. I don't have any evaluations going, but after the new year, I'll probably have 5 backup ones just in case if I decide to start risking heavy and big, because ultimately it's a payout that counts. It's easy to trade these small positions and slowly, but if you want to you're up enough and you want to extract a bit more, your risk tolerance, I think, should go up as your buffer increases. Because it's not your real money. It's all fake money at the end of the day. You blow your accounts, you lose what, 800 or I think total 1,000 USD on 5 accounts. It's very little versus the payouts that you get. Some of the most successful traders that I've worked with in the past, they really risk big. And if they blow, then they just do another evaluation account. But because their strike rates and their RRs are so high that they know that if it's not going to be this evaluation account, it's going to be the next one. And some of them are actually top 20 of some of the main FX accounts there. Okay. Looks like we're hitting some resistance here at levels unknown in the oblivion. Price is moving sideways here. But again, we're not going to be shorting until price breaks these 2 levels here. So there's a long way to go. If you want to catch the top, I'm not going to stop you, but because more often than not, you'll get tagged out here if you try taking it short. If I were to bet on price, I would say taking a long here has a higher probability chance than trying to catch the top in the market. Right now we're hitting the 950 to 1010 algo. I haven't spoken about this yet in any of my videos, but there are specific algorithms that tend to push price around. So one of the first ones is the 930 open. Then we got 950 to 1010. That's I think that's the biggest algo. It's a 20-minute window, and if price isn't doing nothing at the open, sometimes it waits till 950, and then you'll see it start spooling in one direction or the other. 260, I did in full port. 260, not bad. That's someone's salary for 2 days if you're doing minimum wage here in Canada. So serving up hot dogs and French fries. You know how hard they work? The other day, I dropped by McDonald's quickly to get some food, and I just saw how hard they were working, and I'm like, holy shit. They just found out that I just click buttons on a screen and I wait for candlesticks to print. They would lose their minds. Okay. Let's look at some projections here. Okay. 4-hour projection. You can see here, price broke 0.25. Like, again, it's like, how high can I go? 0.5, but let's do a negative 0.5 projection here. So it's at a level right now where it could continue pushing higher, or it might start reversing. If it does reverse and the main move is to the downside, it's going to be fucking massive. But what price might just do, it might start moving sideways for the rest of the day. So we'll see. At 10:30 on a Friday, that's when I usually stop trading. 11, if anything. But if price starts breaking down to these levels really aggressively and really fast, boys, we're going in short. We're going to be looking for opportunities today. For real. Yeah. Okay. All right. This right here is inverting. Let's drop to the downside. It's got one view right now. We can go YOLO. Let me break all my rules. Let's catch the top. Okay. I'm just kidding. MNQ, yeah, same. So I trade MNQ as well, just because you can either trade like 50 or 1 micros, and it's just really easy to scale out. Are you scalping it? Okay. Are you in a short right now? Are you currently like in an active position? Right here. It's attempting the next fair value gap here. Like, if it breaks this fair value up, we've got one more until it gets to our shorting zone. But we'll see how it reacts. Okay. Yeah, so I'm looking to the downside. I try to push the mean threshold of this 1 minute fair value gap. And we'll see what it does. 25 tick moves, just took TP. Nice. Man, you are on fire today. 5-second chart. That's madness. I tried 5-second, but it's not for my personality. I'm a 1 minute /15 second kind of guy. in my friend group, they think I'm crazy for doing 15-second, but there's just so much for 5-second. If you can manage all of these, you know what? It's actually pretty clean, the 5-second. After the 930, there's less gapping. Yeah, so definitely makes sense. It's funny, a couple months ago, ICT was saying how he can trade the sub 1 second chart if TradingView offered it to him. Do I have Discord? Yeah, I have Discord. I don't have an active Discord right now, but I think later on in the future, I may have a Discord. Just to, like, the goal would be, I think I can effectively digest ICT's videos for new traders and help them achieve a reasonable strike rate at least 40% with a higher RR based on a couple of concepts, along with like 6 months of live streaming. I wish someone taught me an easier way to do this. But I think eventually over time, what happened is just thousands of hours of ICT plus thousands of hours in the charts. I've been trading for 7 years. Yeah, you know what, Wish? I'm going to create one today and I'm just going to add you to it. It's going to be you and I. You'll be getting dibs on my views on the market. Let me get back to you there. What's your tag? And if anyone else in my chat wants to get free access into Discord, I will sub one up and we can have a little community going. Okay. So right now on the 1 minute, what's happening? Price got to a level between negative 0.25 and negative 5 of an extension. It's looking like it might be reversing, but it started breaking some fair value gaps to the downside. It's still being held by other fair value gaps. So again, if we're shorting, it has to be below these 1 minute fair value gaps. Cool. All right. I'm going to write this down here in my notes, or you know what? I'll just take a picture of it. And we'll start something cool. Good stuff. Okay. So what's praise doing right now? It hits some all-time high. It's reversing. There's probably a level that it stopped at. That's reasonable, but I'm trying to do some of these Fibonacci extensions, even on the daily here. And it's just hitting around, negative 0.5. But let's see if we can get something today here. Price is exploring the bottom side of this blue fair value gap that I've denoted here. On the 15-minute chart, this is insane. Yeah, for us to go short, it has to break this down. And when it breaks this, confidence will be very high. It's going to go lower, right? So the first indication that we are in higher probability conditions would be seeing candles close below the midpoint. So I think one of the things that all of you guys should add into your day-to-day trading is how price respects fair value gaps. If all bodies sit above, like this right here, this is considered a mohawk where it's 1 point below mean threshold. ICT considers this as it's closing at midpoint and just slightly mohawked below it. But the moment that bodies can't close below a midpoint, it's indicating that price is either bullish or bearish, depending on where price is relative to it. So here it's still bullish, right? Would I expect price to go up higher? Yeah, most likely, right? Would I short from here? No. If I saw bodies close below this fair value gap or to the lower, it means that it's losing energy or it's not as strong. So I think using, or if you're in a trend and in a trade and you're just watching how price is rejecting fair value gaps that are forming, if it's forming like this, staying in the upper half or even the upper quadrant and just rejecting, keep going higher, it's a bullish trade. Hold on to it for as long as possible. But the moment you start seeing stuff like this where price is exploring lower and lower and it's going to start closing within the lower half of these fair value gaps, that's like, it's tipping its hand to you. It's saying, you know what? I might reverse here. I might blast through this. So we will see. I'm gonna look at the 50-second chart to see if there was any possible entries that could have been taken. Like the first market structure shift was right here. Again, this is highly aggressive. If I was doing combines, maybe I would have taken something like this, but again, you're catching the top. It's almost never going to go against your favor at a long-term perspective. Okay, there you go. It's breaking down this fair value gap here. Relative equal lows. Okay. Come on, break it to the downside. Let us take one more trade today on Friday. So price did close below this fair value gap ever so slightly. Was this a meaningful close below it? I would say no, but it technically did. Sometimes you want to see close a lot lower and then come back up. Like if I were trading this fair value gap to the downside, I want to see a break to the downside, create some kind of fair value gap, come back into it, test it, and then trade lower. You can see on the 15-second here, it did it. But again, this is, I wouldn't trade off of this. This is, I burned myself many times trying to use a 15-second as confluence like this. I would want to see something more meaningful in the 1 minute. There you go. And it's breaking further. Okay. So this is really good right now. Like price is aggressively pushing lower. We can remove this. And right now, what I'm looking for is the better entry is going to be below these 1 minute first fair value gaps, but I'm going to see if I can catch something before it gets there and trade through it or to it, right? Because again, the first fair value gaps also act as like black holes or voids where price wants to go back to them. You can see here, like price wanted to go back this first fair value gap. Okay. We might have our first SIBI form here on the 1 minute. It might look something like this, depending on where price closes at in 30 seconds. Could be this right here, actually. You guys took a short here. Kudos right there. That was, it was an okay opportunity to get in. Like it created a fair value gap, traded back to it, rejected it, came back lower, but I saw it a bit too late. And I wasn't crazy about the close here on the 1 minute, but that was a decent trade if you guys caught it. Okay. And now what we want to see, this is where I'm going to focus extra hard now, is seeing how we're going to reject this first fair value gap on the 1 minute. That's all I need. This is the 1 minute one. And I want to see a close below it with a displacement. And the moment it comes back to the first displacement, the fair value gap, I'm taking a short. Daily still bullish. 15-minute, 1 hour. They're all still relatively bullish though too. So to keep in mind, we are going slightly against the trend here. Option 2 is price just came down to this fair value gap. Test it one more time before going higher and punching higher highs, but I feel like that's the least likely outcome. It's because we've violated so many PD arrays to the downside, and we've created PD arrays that are supporting price action to the upside. If I were to weigh these fair value gaps, the ones in dark green are way stronger than the other ones that I've marked in either blue, yellow, or red. Scalping my way down to 359. I'm not sure. What's PL? Profit loss. I'm not sure what 359 is. If you're talking about 21 and 359, it's definitely a long ways away. Right now I'm watching how the 50-second is reacting to this red fair value gap here. This bearish SIBI, as they're called. But again, taking it from here, not advisable. It rejected that first fair value gap. It's still bullish. Like it has to break into the downside. There you go. PL profit loss. Okay. Stepping way down to profit loss. Okay, cool. Oh, nice. Awesome, man. That's solid. Solid gains. I just deal with so many acronyms. Okay. Okay. So what is the 15-minute and the 1 hour telling me right now? It's bullish. Like it tried pushing into this fair value gap. It rejected it. It's going higher. I wouldn't be opposed to taking longs at this point too. So let me see what price is going to be doing here. Price breaks this level. I'm sure if it closes where it is right now, all of the time frames are screaming bullish right now. Even the 5 minute. You can't see the 5 minute on my chart, but if you guys open up the 5 minute on EQ, it's just another version. So it's also bullish. fair value gaps are also like they're also well respected through the past. So even though that I kind of didn't do much here, if it blasts right through this, it creates a fair value gap and comes down lower. Might take a quick little nifty long. Okay. I'm in a small long right now. I'd probably say this is a B minus setup. I'm not crazy about it, but my bias right now is to the upside. And I'm targeting all time. This is my current trade. I might get tagged out here, but it's I'm out. Price did me dirty there. On the 1 minute, I actually closed within this fair value gap, and then I decided to go lower. So this is price action at 10:15 on a Friday. I'm probably not going to force another trade as yeah, no problem, Douglas. Yeah, good idea to close down the chat, but thanks guys. Talk soon. Have a good one. I'm probably going to wait till 11 o'clock today and then close off my charts, but want to see if price is going to move one more time. Once I learned that price is fractal, I was able to use the 5-second chart for 25 tick moves. Yeah. Look at this price. Price came projected this 1 minute fair value gap. On the 15-second, it is creating. Like I think right now we're in low probability commissions because my bias is it's uncertain. I'm not long or short. I am short because of all of this freaking imbalance here that we have from the open, but the higher time frames are just screaming bullish. Yeah, price is fractal. It's technically a market structure shift to the upside here. Out of the 4-hour close, very bullish. Okay. Some good displays to the downside. All right. I do want to see it get back down to this level here and see how it respects it. It touched that first fair value gap, popped away from it again. Bryce, what do you want to do here? You're going to break that fair value gap for us and go lower and punch into that opening gap. When all these time frames are just against each other, like right now, the 5-minute is on the bearish side, 15 minutes bullish, hours bullish. Trading gets a bit more difficult. Price pushed into this 1-minute fair value gap here, touched it, came lower. It might dig in once more before it drops lower, or it might just push straight into this first fair value gap. Okay. Price tapped into that fair value gap once again. Bodies are staying below it, and price right now is most likely going to attempt to break those first fair value gaps for a third time. Mm-hmm. Right now it's 10:25. Next all goes at 10:50. All right. I was really surprised by this move today. Took out some liquidity above the zero value gap, closed within it, and then dropped lower. Okay. What's up? Price is tapping into, for the fourth time, risk for value gap. Sitting right now between the 15-second and the 1 minute fair value gap. Yeah, okay. I'm short right now. I would be okay with a loss if one were to be taken. But this is my entry. And we are aiming for the easiest target. Gonna be this right here. We shorted right there. Stop loss right there. Price were to go to 834, then I think this PDA would fail as a PDA. But if it's going to hold as it held 1, 2, 3, 3 times, it should drop lower. But the question is, how much lower is it going to drop? And I am going to target 720, my last target. So we'll see if this price holds. The way it broke it on the 1 minute, really nice. Price is pushing back into right now. And the moment this holds, price should drop. My risk right now is 200 for this trade. And I have essentially a 4-to-1. Thanks. And if I get tagged out, then I'm going to call it a day. If it hits profit target, I'm going to call it a day. And my stop right now is just above the midpoint of this little wick right here. A bit more. I bit more shit for price to break through. You okay. So far it's looking pretty good. I'm not going to move my stop yet to break even. I still think price might go back in here. It can stir some shit and then go lower. But we'll see. We'll see what's happening here. But we are in bear territory. 15-minute became bearish. 1 hour is becoming bearish. Am I thrilled that price came up a third time into this fair value gap? I'm not. And it looks like it might break to the upside. All right. This is the last PD array that needs to break before I'm out of my position. Price is still within the 1 minute fair value gap. I would want to see that body close within it. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Price is behaving the way it should. Doubled up my entry right now. How it rejected. My risk right now is 330. Sitting above this high here. The moment it breaks this high, we're done. Like, I think price is going to go way higher if it breaks it. And right now, if we're correct, price should melt. It's going to be a big trade for me if it hits. Are all my followers copying like they should? Like they are. Nice, you're short as well. Perfect. Well, hopefully we're right. I think the edge right now is to the downside. Confidence level, I'd say 70%. What's your target? Wish me well. You've been right the last few times. So you tell me. I'm doing a partial right here of a couple of contracts, probably half my position. And then I'm going to try to hold the other half. A lot lower. Once price hits the opening range number at 795, that's when I'm going to move to break even probably. Sometimes price tends to just react off this level and just go higher. But we'll see how how it respects it, and if it'll punch lower. The 15-minute closed really well. 5-minute closed well. 1 hour's closing well. And right now, the edge is in our favor on the 1 minute. I just don't like how it keeps going back up into it right now. I'd want to just see it melt the other way. All this liquidity sitting to the downside. You're risk-free, perfect. I trailed my stop loss right here, the openings of these candles here. Price goes back up here. And we are probably wrong, but you can see here price. It tried to test the 15-second fair value gap. It failed to do so. Hit that midpoint, dropped lower. Price wants to. $785. Yep, it's a good level. PP, 3RR. $787. Yep. Yeah, good level. I have the exact same TP right now. Just how price is acting. But I am liking 720 a lot as a level. Okay, I might break even as well. Or I have $80 of risk on the table right now, very little. My new stop loss is sitting above this high right here. If price goes back up, it retests that fair value gap for like the 10th time, then I'll have little faith. Price is sitting right now at the opening price. No significant bounces. I think right now there's an 80% chance that we get to 776. It's unfortunate Doug left us. Oh, he's missing out on these big moves. Dougie left. Oh. See, this is something that I'm not liking right now. It's a rejection off the opening. I'm at break even right now. Two options. Price gets me at break even, or it drops lower and I make 5K for this trade. But to be honest, wish me well. Look how bearish the 1 hour and the 15-minute is. It's like the moment price breaks this level, do you really think it's going to reverse and go higher? Right? Or do you think it's going to just continually drop down and just take money from all the buyers? There you go. Keep dropping. Hit that target, baby. I have a partial right here, but the real target I want to hit is 720, which is the new day opening gap. All right. We've locked in some money. And let's see if 720 is going to get hit. TP hit. Let's go. Let's go, 2 viewers. See, the real money is made on the channel with 2 viewers. All right. Okay, hit the end dog. I am going to. I'm going to sell 3 more here. I don't have to buy. Yeah. It was, yeah, my initial bias was correct. Which is, it's always a little boost of confidence as well on my end. Am I some pro trader? No, right? Did I find some small consistency? I did. I think maybe in 10 years, I may be a really good trader. But for now, I'm just, oh yeah, the bulls are getting wrecked. And 720 is about to get hit right now for me. Have to make sure that I have the right target here. 720. 720 and a quarter. So I'll do, it's gonna be a big day. If it hits target, I'm gonna be up 5K here across all my accounts. Oh, hey, you're one god. What's up? Oh, what is up? Just gotta make sure. Let's go. Part of me wants to hold this longer, but I'm gonna leave it at this TP right here. The moment it breaks, this 15-second order flow here, I'm out fully. I am not holding a pullback for an extra $100. I've got my stop loss now right here above this 15-second high. I have 3 micros open at this point. And ready. Oh my gosh, a pip away, or like a point or whatever. Price is teasing. No, don't do this to me. Keep dropping. My confidence right now is 50-50 if it hits target or if it hits my stop loss. Oh, and I'm about to be taking out the position. See here. I'm seconds away from being taken out. Oh, saving grace. Keep dropping. Don't reverse on me. Confidence level, 20% is going to hit TP target, and 80% is going to hit my stop loss. All right, guys. Let's go. Looks like Wish Me Well pulled in a couple million today. I don't know year one god if you caught anything, but yeah, we had a good session today. Do you guys have any questions at all before I close the stream for today? Oh, dude, we're going to be eating good. Wins for everyone. All right, awesome. Well, on that note, if you guys enjoyed the stream, feel free to like the stream or something. I'd really appreciate that. Will live stream next week? I think so. This was fun. If you guys saw value in it, then I'll continue streaming. Or if you guys rather have like informational videos post trading day, I can do that as well. But I enjoy being with the both of you here today, and have a good weekend, guys. Talk Monday.